Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and today we're going to talk about some Ixalan promos. We got 4 cards previewed, kind of accidentally, I guess, from Wizards of the Coast. I've said this in the past, but Wizards is their own worst enemy sometimes when it comes to leaks. Last night they accidentally went live with an article that showed us these 4 promo cards that we'll be looking at. They've since turned off the page, but of course too little too late. It's out of the box, and these cards are all over social media right now, so I figured we'd talk about them a little bit. Now, quickly before we get started, if you check out the description below, you'll find a couple ways to support us, one of which is our Amazon affiliate store. If you make any purchases via the links down below, a small percentage will come back to help support us. And you'll also find our Patreon page linked below as well. With that out of the way, let's get into the information for today. And we're going to start off with some broad slides that they showed on the site. Now, you will see some promo cards in these slides, but we're going to take a closer look at each of those cards. Don't feel like you have to strain in these photos to see them, but I just want to give you some of these general pictures first. They did show us the land packs for the draft events for draft weekend. They showed us the Bio Box promo with the Bio Box pack there. They showed us the Ixalan League box. Here's a better picture of it, actually, what it looks like when it's assembled. They showed us the standard Showdown Ixalan packs, which we knew were coming, and they've talked about those in the past, what they'll include and such. We got to look at the pre-release kits, or at least 2 versions. I don't know if there's more than this, but the art is actually pretty sweet. They do look really cool, actually. And finally, they showed us the double-sided foil tokens that will be available at the pre-release that they have mentioned in the past. You get yourself a green dinosaur token there, 3/3 trample. You can see a white vampire with lifelink 1/1 and a pirate in black 2/2 with menace. On the flip side are treasure tokens, and they're artifacts that read tap, sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Here's another look at those tokens. Alright, now let's move on to the regular cards with Bishop of Rebirth. This is the draft weekend promo. Now, if this card looks familiar, it is because it was leaked in that big Ixalan leak. So you may have seen this before. We get a better look at the card now. 2 white and 3, Vampire Cleric, 3/4 with Vigilance. Whenever this attacks, you may return target creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it feels kind of like a mini Sun Titan in some ways. Obviously, nowhere near as good as Sun Titan, sure. But in this format, in this new standard, where we're going to have a very narrow field of cards to choose from, considering a number of sets will be leaving us, this feels like it could be a pretty good card. I like its utility as the top end of maybe some sort of either White Weenie, Selesnya Weenie, or Boros aggro deck. Feels like it could be good there, and obviously it's going to have synergies with vampires, which could be really sweet too. So the card itself actually feels good for 5 mana, 3/4 with Vigilance, and notice that the trigger occurs on attack, not when you do combat damage to a player, so that's pretty sweet. You can attack, the Vigilance still allows this thing to block, lets you be a little more aggressive with it, which is nice. And if you have targets to reanimate, this could be really sweet and just help your board presence rather significantly. Doing it all for 5 mana, I actually like the card quite a bit for potential standard play in the future, and it's a bomb in limited, no doubt. Alright, next is Walk the Plank. The one we're looking at here is the Open House Full Art promo version. Costs 2 black, it's a sorcery uncommon, destroy target non-merfolk creature. Okay, so it's removal, it's sorcery speed removal with a condition being can't get rid of merfolk, of course. So how good is that in the scheme of things? Well, I will say this, very playable and limited. I think you'll be happy to play this. Probably a high pick in draft, if not first pick, because it is cheap removal. And in a game of draft or any sort of limited sealed, you're not going to be as worried about the speed of the removal. You're just going to be worried that you have the removal, so it's going to be fine there. Standard, we are losing a lot of good removal in the rotation. Can this creep in there? I don't know, maybe. It does only cost 2, but it is 2 on color, and the fact that it's a sorcery, though, not an instant, is going to hurt it a little bit. And if there are powerful merfolk in the set or powerful merfolk decks, that could bury this card pretty quickly. But it's possible. Maybe it sees a little standard play. I guess we'll kind of wait and see what the removal packages are going to look like and what other removal is going to be in the set. But it's an interesting card regardless, and I think it's really good and limited. Next, Burning Sun's Avatar. This costs 3 red and 3. This is the Buy a Box promo, rare, 6/6 Dinosaur Avatar When this enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to target opponent and 3 damage to up to 1 target creature. So it feels kind of like a mini Inferno Titan. I don't know if they did that intentionally or not, but a little bit of a nod to the Titan cycle, maybe? I don't know. But this card is going to be a bomb for you in limited. I'll say that first off. I mean, it's 6/6, as long as you can cast it. I mean, 3 on color, 6 isn't too bad, but 3 on color can be a strong requirement if you're getting a little more greedy in some of your draft or some of your sealed decks. But it's 6/6, that's also going to lightning bolt a player, and a creature feels actually pretty good to me. I'd be happy to run it. As for standard, now even though standard is going to have a lot less cards to choose from, and some cards that maybe would not be playable today could potentially be playable a few months from now, even with that being said, I don't think this card does enough for 6 3 on color to matter in standard, quite honestly. It's a really cool card, but again, we don't know about the dinosaur synergies. If there's some good dinosaur synergies that play with this card, that could all change, obviously, but at least in a vacuum right now, I feel like this is just a limited bomb. Alright, this next card, probably my favorite of the day, Unclaimed Territory. This is the League promo, Uncommon Land. When this enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. You can tap it for colorless mana, or you can tap it for 1 mana of any color, but you can only spend that mana to cast a creature spell of the chosen type. So basically a budget version of Cavern of Souls. Yes, Cavern of Souls is a better card, and that's why when it came back to us in Modern Masters 2017, I guess they decided to make it a mythic. It was a rare previously. But it does have that extra clause saying that the creature you're playing can be countered. So that's awesome. That's super sweet. But if you're looking for a budget version of that card, this actually seems really awesome. And I'm thinking about like casual players, commander players maybe. Like we have these tribal decks coming out on Friday for Commander 2017. And if you wanted to upgrade those with a Cavern of Souls, that would have been a big financial commitment. I mean, $40, $50 for a card that's going into a $35 deck, it just seems really excessive. But now we know in a few weeks, you'll have the opportunity to pick this up at a very affordable price, throw it in one of those decks, and I think that's actually really awesome. So yes, it's not Cavern of Souls, but you're getting an uncommon that's a really nice budget alternative for a lot of players. I think that's fantastic. Sure, there are some options that are already out there for Commander players. We talked a lot about them the other day in the Draconic Dominance upgrade video, things like Ancient Ziggurat. But having a brand new one that's going to be in the brand new set coming out, I think is actually pretty sweet. It just makes it super accessible. Now, how is this going to be in Standard? Well, again, if you have some good tribal decks, which I'm assuming you will, again, you have less cards to choose from now in the Standard environment. We're getting a block that's based around tribal, so I'm sure there's going to be some powerful tribal synergies that will cross over into Standard. Zombies could even stick around. They're losing some major components with the loss of the Shadows block, of course, but maybe some of these other tribal synergies will help that deck along and keep it in play. So it could fit into a deck like that, or it could fit into something that's powerful with vampires or dinosaurs or merfolk or pirates. We'll just have to wait and see. So I do think this will see Standard play. I think the color fixing is just too important not to. This will be okay for you too in Limited, because even if you're not all in on a certain tribe, you're going to have at least a handful of cards that fall under a tribe that maybe you're concerned about the casting cost of. Perhaps you're splashing a 3rd color and that tribe happens to be the 3rd color you're splashing or something like that. Many decks will find this very playable. Alright, with that being said, those are the cards for today, and I'm expecting to see maybe some more cards show up this week, and if I do, we'll definitely do a video and talk about them. Wizards has been kind of teasing that we may see some coming over the next couple weeks, so I guess we'll kind of wait and see. Of course, HasCon, there'll be a huge reveal, no doubt, so we'll be talking about not only Ixalan that weekend, but Iconic Masters as well, which seems pretty crazy. But until next time, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible by the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.